We're at day 8. It's about 8:45 in the morning. Just woke up. Slept a little weird last night in the hammock. So I'm a little stiff. I think I definitely slept like a banana, which is not the right way to sleep in a hammock. So, as much as I'd love to just lounge around, I do have some stuff I have to get done today. I do have to work. It's going to be a really long day, especially waking up this early, knowing I have to work. Knowing I have to work till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then come out here and set all this up. I did go to bed relatively early though, so I did get some sleep. So it is going to be breakfast time. So we're gonna make some oatmeal, and then get all this gear packed up. So let's get some breakfast on. And coffee. Coffee's important. Alright, so we got the stovetop going. I do not have a measuring cup. I usually, when I make this, I usually do a cup of oatmeal. I'm just going to use the lid of the food jar. Alright, so breakfast is made. Fresh hot coffee, which is awesome. And then the food jar that I bought. So like I said, it was a little pricey. I could have went to a thrift store and probably found some type of cooking pot to put my stuff in. It was a matter of convenience. It was a matter of timing. I do like the fact that I could heat my food up, seal it all back up, and put it in the backpack for later. So if I didn't have to work today, I could make my breakfast, wash this out, and then I could heat up like my rice and put it in here. And keep it hot throughout the day. So, but yeah, oatmeal, piping hot, so that's great. All kind of trail mix and those little crisps in there. I did lay in the hammock for a couple minutes, just kind of having that what the F moment. Really didn't want to do anything. I obviously have several hours before I have to go to work. Really just kind of wanted to do absolutely nothing. And it's going to be real easy to be in that mind frame, to do nothing and really just want to sit and not deal with the responsibilities and all of that. But I do have a company that I have to run, so it is extremely, extremely important that I find some type of space, whether it's an office space or a garage, that has electricity. So I need electricity to make my product. I have customers that are relying on me. So, but it is real easy to just not want to do anything. I have thought about that over the last couple of days, temporarily shutting the company down until I find an office space. But the reality is, regardless, I still have orders that need to be fulfilled, whether I shut the company down or not. So, it is what it is. But definitely in a bit of a funk this morning. So, coffee and a hot breakfast is definitely kind of piquing my my spirits a bit more. I definitely, like right now, I definitely do want to sort of break down and cry. It's kind of hit me this morning, sort of the reality of what the hell's going on. Even though I've been out here, a week already, those first couple days, should have been those, this really sucks, panic mode. But I just kind of warped my mind into, hey, it's going to be all right. I've got some gear. I'm just going to be camping. And it's really just the reality right now of this, this really sucks. But it is a little sketchy being outdoors on your own. I haven't done this in camped or anything in many, many years. But I've always gone with somebody. This is the first time that I'm literally on my own sleeping outdoors. So, you worry about safety when it comes to people. You worry about safety when it comes to animals. All that stuff. So, it definitely can be a little unsettling at times. But, I just, again, try to think of everything positive, everything I'm grateful for to kind of outweigh those negatives and keep my mind at ease. So as long as I'm staying busy, obviously I have tons of chores that need to get done. I'm going to end up having to clean my food jar. I got to take a shower. I got to unpack, tear down the whole sleeping quarters, get that all packed up, and really get ready to start my day. So, unfortunately with starting the day, it's not like you can wake up half an hour before you go to work, throw some clothes on, brush your teeth, and leave the house. For me, this is really a couple hour process. Making the food, eating, just kind of relaxing for a short time, and then having to tear everything down, get the bag packed, as perfect as I possibly can so that it's comfortable on my back, and then starting on my day. So, and obviously today we're going to have to shower, so that's going to take a little bit more time. So, I mean, you're talking really 2.5 hour process for me in the morning time, getting everything going and getting everything torn up. So, it is just after 5. I'm a mess right now. Mess and sunburned like crazy. So I worked till just after 3. Got down here to the location, and my plan was to shower before I climbed into the hammock. I left work, came out here, there were cops everywhere, drove to the second location, and of course there was a cop sitting over there. So ended up driving back here and kind of waited it out until the police left. Got everything set up as fast as humanly possible. And it was starting to become daylight. I seen a couple people kind of walking around, so I went over on the rocks, kind of down into the rocks to basically shower. I had a jug of hot water that I filled up at work, and that was nice to be able to take a hot shower. And I laid my loofah down to poured the jug of water on me, and the loofah rolled off the rock and down a crevice into the lake. Today is the 4th of July, 2020. I do have to work until midnight tonight, so from 3 to midnight. Not a bad shift entirely, however, it's, after 5 a.m. and I'd like to be able to sleep. It takes me a little while getting up in the morning to make my coffee, try to make breakfast, get everything torn down, packed up again. It's very tedious tasks every single day, setting up, tearing down, setting up, tearing down. There's times I'm just so damn tired, like I literally just want to lay in the grass, but I can't. I need to set up my shelter and need to set up my hammock so I can actually get some sleep. So that is that. What else is going on? I do have some kind of weird bug bite. I don't know whether you can see this. I got bit by something. I don't know what it is, but it hurts. So that was a few days ago. I don't know if it's a mosquito bite or if I got bit by a spider. There's tons of spiders everywhere. Multiple species of spiders. So that sucks. All around here I am sunburned, which sucks with the backpack straps. That was literally just from walking on this little path. I had like an hour to kill. Took my shirt off and just kind of walked up and down the path for probably about 45 minutes. I am kind of blistered back here. I didn't think I got that much sun, but I did. I'm a little pasty, so getting some sun was ideal. What really sucks though is riding the bike and having my arms exposed. My arms are extremely sunburned, and I don't know how well you guys can see this. So that's my hand, and there's a little bubble right there. You guys can see that. So that, part of this is actually, you can see major discoloration. So all the white skin is actually, it's actually from a burn that I got from a charcoal smoker that backdrafted on me. I had 2nd-degree burns on my hand and some on my face. You can't really see any major scarring on my face though, which is great. But my hand is pretty bad. So because of that, my hand is extremely sensitive to sun, and it got severely sunburned. You can kind of see. I mean, it's really gross. It's kind of gross. And there's a blister. So that's definitely a 2nd-degree burn. You can see it's really bad. And it's the burn from the sun is pretty bad. That my entire hand is throbbing, like a pain throbbing, not like a sunburn throbbing. So that's not a good thing. That's definitely not a good sign. I remember when I originally burned my hand, any kind of pain on the inside, like a physical pain, was not good. That's serious nerve damage. But like I said, it is the 4th of July. 4th of July is canceled out here because of the coronavirus. The other thing I found out, so the bathroom that's directly behind me, this really sucks. So like yesterday, the bathroom was not open at all. So I really wanted to get in there to kind of clean up and use the bathroom, brush my teeth, all of that stuff. And the bathroom was not open. So what they're doing, what I found out, is that they are only opening certain bathrooms, like certain days, certain times, and it's sporadic. There's nothing that's consistent. So sometimes this bathroom's open, sometimes it's not, which makes it very difficult trying to get my cold drinking water and all of that. What is pretty nice though, so I found a couple of If you remember from one of the other videos, I had picked up the jugs of water. So what's nice is that I strap the empty jugs of water to the little Toto basket that I have on the bike. And then when I'm at work, I fill them up with pretty much like scalding hot water, which is so awesome to be able to pour hot water on my body to be able to clean up. It's just such a great feeling compared to that first ice cold freezing shower that I took. So that's just such a wonderful thing. So yeah, construction, construction over here is going to start again in the next couple days. So I'm going to end up having to go to the other location, and I'm going to end up having to stay there. So that's going to be that, really. But anyway, I am exhausted. I'm going to eat my little Cliff Bar. I got the blueberry crisp. So I got 12 of these bars for like $9.72 or something at Walmart. But these blueberry ones are phenomenal. I actually really like these. So I'm gonna snack on this real quick, and then lay down because I'm exhausted. I'm seriously exhausted. But it felt so nice to be able to take that little shower, even though I lost my loofah. There's a dollar store not too far away, so I'll end up hopefully trying to ride there before I get into work today, so I can grab another loofah. So, day 10. I have had a pretty crazy weekend with work. Thursday I worked 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Friday did the same thing. Last night, Saturday, worked from 3 p.m. until 12 a.m. I didn't leave work until 1 a.m. Then got to the beachfront property and was trying to set up. And with it being the 4th, there were tons of people walking around. And I was graced with company by a very intoxicated girl who proceeded to have a conversation with me, and I could not understand a single word she was saying. I think she might have been on something else besides alcohol. Anyway, I didn't go to bed until 3:30 in the morning, and then had to be up at 7:30 so that I could get ready and go to work and open the restaurant at 9 a.m. Supposed to work till 4. The entire staff did not show up today. We had so many people that didn't show up, and then the entire cook line didn't show up at 3 p.m. like they were supposed to, so that I could leave at 4. Ooh, mosquito. So I didn't get out till 6, and we just got murdered with tickets. So yeah, sorry, I got an itch. So I got to the lakeside property, got the shelter set up, and put on my bathing suit, which for the first time, because I've never really tied it, because I only put it on when I'm trying to shower, but the bathing suit is actually too big. So, but anyway, so I put the bathing suit on, and I jumped in that lake over there. It's kind of dark, you can't really see it. I tried to shoot, I made mac and cheese tonight. I cooked the noodles earlier at work and then just heated them back up once I got to the property. I am drinking a cup of coffee because I have not had coffee at all today, and I really just wanted a cup of coffee. I wanted to sit and relax. So I made my mac and cheese, heated up the noodles with some boiling water, and then put it in my food jar, mixed everything together, and I had hot mac and cheese and coffee. It's kind of a weird combo, but it's the little things in life that are pleasurable at this point. So what's going on? Little update. So I have to, let's see. So I work tomorrow again, 9 to 4. I'm assuming I'm not going to get out until later than 4. It's typical. But then I've got Monday night off, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and I don't go back to work until Thursday at 3. So, trying to decide whether or not I just want to kind of stick close to town, or if I want to just get on the bike and go, and find somewhere else. Just go, just ride until I can't ride anymore, and then find some trees to set up on and hang out. I really don't have anything else going on right now. I can't really run the company until I find electricity. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about just getting on the bike and going. I've never done something like that. Sorry, there's like mosquitoes and I got the light on. They're flying everywhere. Anyway, I've never really done something like that. So I'm thinking about doing it. Why not, right? And I figured too, since I'll have plenty of time to shoot some video, I'll go a little bit more in depth on how this all happened. I'm definitely going in more depth on my job and why I still had no money working, because I'm sure you guys are all wondering, well, Jesus, if you have a job and you're working, why can't you pay your bills? You know, I told you guys before, this is kind of an area where there are some unsavory people that come, because there's this parking lot, and there's been these dudes that have been up here by one of the picnic tables that just randomly keep going into the woods and then coming back out and then back into the woods. So that's a little creepy. I jumped in the lake, which was great. Here's a little fun fact about me. I am terrified of water. I used to love water, but I have 2 shoulders that are screwed up from sports injuries, and I've almost drowned a few times being in water, and my shoulders have dislocated on me. So, yeah, I'm terrified of water. So I went in probably about waist high, and then just kind of ducked under and just kind of swam around a little bit. So pretty quick, and then, you know, back out. But it was nice to just jump in the lake, kind of get all that work sweat off me. So that was awesome. To find the right angle here. There we go. We are at day 11. So today worked from like 9 to 4:30. It was a long day. Exhausted. Well, it was really cool. One of my bosses ran me up to a little thrift store. It's not horribly far to ride on a bike, but it was super, super hot outside. And I would probably never make it after work to get there on time before they closed. But I wanted to see if they had a little cook pot. And I did find one. So I featured that on the Facebook page. I did a live video on the Facebook page, and did a live video showing everyone how I make my coffee, which you guys have seen, and the first time using the cook pot, which was super awesome. So I was totally stoked about that. Really, really excited. Best part, it was only $3. So that was awesome. Even better. It's pretty small. It's compactable. Big enough though that I can make my mac and cheese. I can make soup. I can make whatever I want in this thing. Fits nicely in the backpack. That's amazing. Exactly what I was looking for. It's perfect. Probably a couple of quarts big. So that's perfect. So got out of work, and my plan was to just get everything ready and jump on the bike and head as far north as I could possibly ride until I was tired, and then try to find 2 trees that were close enough together and set up camp there. Totally different area, all of that. Last minute I changed my mind. I was so hot being at work. I was literally sweating. It gets super hot in that kitchen. So instead I came to the lakefront property and got everything set up. put the bathing suit on and swam around the lake for about a half an hour. Now remember, I'm terrified of water, so for me to jump inside of a lake, pretty big feat for me. And a car pulled in, and a gentleman got out of it was a truck. A gentleman got out and started walking towards me. It's kind of like, oh, what's going on here? And I was trying to get all my cooking stuff packed up and everything in the backpack for the night. Getting ready to jump into my sleeping gear, and I'm gonna go hang out in the hammock and watch some YouTube videos. I'll tell you the YouTube videos that I've been kind of watching. But so anyway, this person is from Crisis. I'll show you that right there. I told you guys I would document everything. So this is from Crisis. This person, I know it's backwards on the video, but whatever. So this person came up, and it was a little odd that he knew where to find me, to just randomly stop. He said he saw the hammock set up. I'm not too sure about that. I think somebody called and said that I might be homeless. I'm not sure if it's somebody from work or if maybe it was somebody down here at the lake that has seen me, because there's people that do see me. But he knew I was, not just hanging out for the day. So I'm supposed to check in with him tomorrow. Did offer me a hotel tonight. The problem is that the hotel comes with not restrictions, but conditions. That's the better word, conditions. So there is a program out here. Apparently they are now taking people in, and basically every night you sleep at a different church or whatever. So they changed some of their rules, but some of it is the same pretty much. So every paycheck that I get, I have to give them 75% of the paycheck. The purpose of that is that they hold on to the money for you, so you're not spending it, so that you can save money and get a place to live. You only have 30 days, and then they reevaluate you and see if you need more time. Now, generally, if you're doing the right thing, they will give you more time. You're just not going to be able to stay there forever. And that sounds great. So, ideally I could probably get into a hotel for a day or two while getting all of that stuff situated with that program. But the problem is that you have a curfew. You have to be in at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. If I'm working late, that's fine. I can have a late entry. So there's a few issues. This is going to sound like excuses, but it's not. But a few issues. So on those nights where I close, I'm not getting out until 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on the church that you're sleeping in, because they're all over town. So depending on what church everybody's at that night, I may not get there until 4 a.m. And then they're booting you out at 5:30 in the morning. You got to be up, and they do give you a little bag breakfast or a bag lunch or whatever. I don't remember what the thing is, breakfast and lunch, I don't know. But they do give you some food in the morning that you take with you, but you got to be out at a certain time. And then I'm right back setting this up again anyway. So, those days, it's going to be really, really difficult. I'm concerned as far as sleeping. So if I'm not going to get there till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm going to sleep for an hour and a half, have to get all my stuff ready, and then essentially come back down to one of these two locations anyway, set everything up, and then sleep for a few hours to get back up and then start getting ready to go to work. I'm not going to get any sleep. It's going to affect my sleep worse than what is already going on. That's going to be an issue. The other issue is that I'm trying to rent, obviously, either an office or a garage or a room somewhere where I can run my company and make these products that I have to make. And if I have to be in at a certain time, sure, I do have some time to make my product, but again, it's going to limit me on how much time during the day and into the night that I'm going to have, and I'm already backed up on orders. So that's another thing to take into consideration. The other thing is taking 75% of my money. Now again, yes, I understand, they just hold it. They're not taking it to spend it, or it's not like fees to stay here. They take it and hold it to make sure that you have money saved so you can get a place. And that's great, that's perfect, right? That's what a lot of people need. The one thing that they don't take into consideration are the bills that you have. They don't care about your bills at this point. They care about, you need money to get a place, your bills will come later. I can't have that because I am still running this company. So I have company bills that I have to make sure that there's money in my account. Otherwise I lose my website. I lose a lot of stuff. And I need to be able to have money to buy materials to make these products. They're not going to listen to any of that. They're not going to care about any of that. And when I'm focusing on the company, which I really haven't in these last almost 2 weeks, just because I don't have electricity, so I'm trying to get this routine down and whatever. But once I have electricity, I can start making the products. I'm going to be way more active with the company. I'm not going to be in a position that I can give them a big chunk of money and live off very, very little. I still have to worry about eating. I still have to worry about all that stuff. What I do know is, and I'm not sure how it is now, but there were 2 churches that you could shower at. But again, you had to be there at a certain time in order to do that. So if either of those churches are on days that I close, I will not be able to go and shower late at night when I get there. That's not how that works. So I still have to deal with how do I shower? I still have to deal with how am I eating? I still have to deal with, on those days, where am I sleeping? How much sleep am I actually getting? I'm eating my Mountain House breakfast skillet. It's got some eggs, sausage, potatoes, different peppers. I did put some black pepper in here, so this is actually really good. 14 grams of protein, so this should be really good. But let's get into it. So let's talk about work and kind of a part 2 of how I'm in this particular situation. So about a year ago, I was going through a pretty contentious divorce, just arguing about the dumbest stuff. And I was working a different job. I was making pretty decent money, but there was constant mandatory overtime, which was great when it came to the money. And then it was affecting me with my visitation with my son, where I was constantly having to cancel visits. So that would end up biting me in the butt in the divorce, because we were kind of following this schedule, and my schedule basically said that I'm only available these days and these times because of all that mandatory overtime. And it was at a point with the overtime where it was just so consistent that I was constantly canceling visits. Arguing in court all the time, I was constantly in court. So I was taking days off of work, or taking half days. And that had gotten to a point where that was too much for the job. And a lot of issues, a lot of problems. It's pretty unhealthy environment, and ended up getting fired from that job. Um, but So yeah, and right around that time, I was building the company I currently have. I started it probably a month before I lost the job. I saw it coming. I had a feeling. Um, so when I got fired, I dove right into the company. And it was doing pretty well. And then we started making a different product that I sell, and I was approached by Walmart. Um, I ended up kind of turning it down. There was some circumstances that ended up happening, but I ended up turning it down. It was not going to work. It sucks to pass up an opportunity like that, but at the same time, because I'm so focused on branding, nobody knew who we were, and I think we would have failed in Walmart. That would have been bad. So turned that down and continued focusing on branding the company first. And I did that for about 3 months and ended up just hemorrhaging so much money with the divorce and trying to put money into the company that I burned through all of the money that I had saved and got myself into a position where I almost lost that place to live. So I ended up going to this restaurant. Now, normally this is not a job I would have taken. I do have a background in restaurants. I've done everything from dishwasher all the way up to general manager. I've created beverage programs on a mixology aspect. I'm a pretty wicked mixologist. Um, so I've done everything. But yeah, this is not... I've never seen a restaurant ran like this, ever. And it's really odd. It's not the best environment, either. But I don't really want to go too much into that, because I could make 100 different videos about the crazy that is happening in this restaurant. That's beyond normal restaurant stuff. So, pretty much talking about money, because money is ultimately the reason I got here. It's not necessarily the box of crazy that's going on in the restaurant that is making me live in a hammock right now. So it ended up being where there was a lot of theft, a lot of drug issues with the restaurant. I was helping out, basically trying to figure out who was stealing, who was dealing drugs, things like that. And people ended up getting fired and losing their jobs. It was nice because it made my life a little easier and more sane. But then I ended up picking up so many hours covering shifts because now we were less people. It was nice because it helped my boss, the owner, and I would guess that I saved him thousands and thousands of dollars in money between time theft and then actual just, food theft and all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on. So I had gotten to a point where I was working between 80 and 90 hours a week. Now, $10 an hour, working 80 to 90 hours a week, you would think 40 hours times 10 is $400, and then 40 hours times 15, I don't even know how much that is, but I should have had like between $1,500 and $1,700 checks. And I was told that I wasn't going to get paid overtime, that I would get paid my straight pay in cash, and that would benefit me. Now, I'm not stupid. I own companies, and I've owned companies before that had employees. I know that's not true. I don't benefit at all. The company benefits. So I was getting checks that were under $1,000. Now, mind you, I'm already behind in bills. I'm so far behind, and I've hemorrhaged so much money that I'm just I'm so far negative. It's not even funny. So I need those 40 hours and the 40 hours of overtime, where within probably 3 checks, I could have gotten completely squared up, positive, and then every other check after that would have been positive money, and money that could have been put towards savings, some put back into the company to really help the company more, and I wasn't getting that. And I ended up, the place that I lived at, which I love this place, it was a beautiful 2-bedroom place in such a great area. So there's an owner, I rented from this property management company, and they have tons of different owners, and the management company just kind of runs everything. Well, the owner was selling the building. So our building sold, and these people the owners moved into the ground unit, kicked the lady out that lived there, started harassing me constantly because they had no intentions of re-renting to me, which sucked because I had no intentions of leaving. So really making life miserable. It was constant arguing back and forth, and ultimately, when my lease was up, I ended up having to leave. So I had nowhere to go for about a month. Stayed in a hotel, stayed with a buddy for a couple of weeks, and then the current place that I just got evicted from, so cheapest rent in town. It's a 1-bedroom place. I basically took the living room and made it my area, gave the bedroom to my son, and I needed money. I had $0. I had enough money to get all of my stuff out of my apartment and into a storage unit, and that was it. I had no money for something else. And here I am picking up more hours again while staying with my buddy, and again, not getting paid overtime. Now, here I have no place to go. I'm sleeping on a floor in my buddy's place. I need the money. I need to be paid the right way. And that's been this way for an entire year, where I'm so far broke and I'm not getting paid the right way, where I could easily get everything paid off and actually have money like a normal person. So I'm relying on money from the company coming in, but the company, I'm putting money into the company, and it's very, very little profit because it's such a new company. So it's not like I'm making tens of thousands of dollars that I can survive off this company. And the job is, part-time, or even working the job. If I worked the job full-time the way I was, got paid the right way, and the supplemental income from the company, I would be totally fine. I would have a place to live. I'd have all my bills paid, current, up to date. Everything would be perfect. So I need to get this place. So I went to my boss. I talked to him, and I said, "Hey, this is what's going on. I need to borrow some money. I'm basically have no place to be." So he borrowed me the money to move into the place that I'm at now, and I have to pay that money back. Out of every paycheck, I have to make payments towards that. Now, keep in mind, I'm not getting paid. If I should have $1,700 checks, and my checks are under $1,000, there's at least $700 worth of pay that should be in my pocket. So here I am borrowing money that essentially is my money, but then ultimately paying back that money to my boss who I borrowed it from. It's absolutely insane. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. But I'm stuck. I don't have a choice. So, and what also sucks is that there's other employees that are actually getting paid overtime. So the amount of discrimination that's going on is just unreal. And I really don't understand why it's like this, because I am a good employee. I show up to work all the time. I'm constantly volunteering for extra shifts. I'm constantly trying to do, the right thing in there and, make things better. I care. It's just the type of worker I am. Now, I know with the things that I've done that I've earned my boss's trust. However, again, why am I not getting paid what I should be getting paid? It's killing me. So I've had multiple conversations about how the $10 an hour is not enough. I want 13. I've had conversations where not getting paid the overtime is not helping me. It's actually hurting me. So I do these 3 months at like 80, 90 hours a week, getting paid straight pay, under $1,000 for paychecks. Now that's every 2 weeks. So, $500, let's say, a week. It's really not enough money. Then we hire staff, and I get knocked back down to between 45 and 55 hours. And now here's what's crazy too. So every other weekend I don't work. So there's 2 weeks in the month that I have short work weeks because of visitation with my son. So I usually put in a lot of hours in the 1 week and then not so many hours in the other week. But again, if I'm getting paid properly and I'm getting paid overtime and all this and that, that should not be any issue. So we hire all these people. I get knocked back down to about 45, 55 hours. Again, any overtime, I'm still not getting paid. Well, now I'm losing that 80 hours and I'm down to 45, so now I'm getting hit with less money. And I already needed the money I should have been getting paid. Now I have even less. So by the time... Alright, so then here's the other thing. So I don't have enough money on my checks that I can go to the grocery store and buy groceries. I can get maybe like $20 worth of stuff. So, and then I'm at work between 10 to 14, 16-hour shifts. So I'm eating at work. I'm not sleeping. I'm eating at work. I'm doing like open to closes, then open again, then come back the next day, do open to close, open to close, open to close, open, and then, I'm working like 7 days a week. So I'm eating at work. Now that food is being taken out of my check. So now, since it is less hours, by the time I get my paycheck, child support money gets taken out, whatever taxes from the check portion get taken out, and then my food money. Now on average, I'm spending $100 a week on food eating at the restaurant. Sometimes I'm eating twice a day because I'm there open to close. So I was getting, my checks were like between $152 and $176 on my check. In cash, it'd be anywhere from $80 to $300, kind of depending. So still, that doesn't help me. Woke up this morning, made my coffee, had a buddy come pick me up so we could do a Walmart run, because I am not happy with my ridge lines. My ridge lines are super loose. I don't know why. Not sure how that came undone like that, but it did. So, the tarp is sagging. It's not positioned where I want it to be positioned. So I did some research on YouTube last night and went to Walmart to go pick up some supplies. I grabbed some carabiners that I needed. Also grabbed a water bottle and some measuring cups and a camp towel. So I decided to do the camp towel instead of the pad, and I'll use that down at the lake. It's like a microfiber towel. It was like $5. It's pretty big, so it'll work. It'll do what I need it to do. It's super compact, so it's not going to be bulky. But I went to Walmart to go buy some S-clips and some cam jams. And I know Walmart sells that stuff, and I went there, they didn't have it. So I ended up grabbing some carabiners that I needed, and then went to Lowe's, and I ended up picking up some nice cam jam kits. I'm not going to use the cord that's on here because the cord that's on here is only 10 feet, so I'll save the cord for something else useful. These were like $8 a piece for, I'm just dropping stuff, for this style. They did have a plastic 2-pack cam jam. I bought those at Walmart before. They didn't last very long. These are like a metal or a very hard plastic. So they were like $8 a piece. And then I bought some S-clip carabiners. These were like $3 a piece. They had black ones. I really wanted the black, but those were like $5 a piece. Really weird. So anyway, I'm gonna set the ridge lines up different, where I'm gonna S-clip on one side and then cam jam the other side so that I can pull it tight and lock it, and hopefully prevent dangly ridge lines, because that doesn't work. As you guys have seen, I have the blue tarp, which I've always just done in the A-frame configuration. What bothers me, and that works, that's a great configuration, super standard. What bothers me though is that when I need to change or get naked because I'm jumping into my bathing suit to go jump in the lake, you know, or getting out of my sleeping clothes into my riding clothes or whatever it may be, I need more privacy, especially if I'm completely changing out and I'm going to be naked for a second to get into that bathing suit. Obviously I don't want to get arrested. That's going to be an issue. So I have been researching how to put doors on the tarps that I have. The other thing is I'm kind of tired of the ends of the tarp sliding in, which does happen from time to time. So I'm pulling everything tight and whatever, but it does still kind of cinch in. So I've been up since the scary guy woke me up this morning, and I've been up playing around with the tarp, trying out different things, and I've figured out how to have doors on this particular tarp and keep the tarp from cinching in and ultimately getting me wet. So first thing is I have these little extra strings. I'm not sure I don't remember what they came on. I think it was for the bug net. I think that's where I got them. I think it was the original Ridgeline for the bug net, but it was like 2 pieces. It was really awkward. Anyway, so what I did is, if you can see here, I've tied this precept knot, and basically all that is, I've created a circle and then looped it through each other and then onto the line. And what's great about the precept knot is that I can slide this thing up and down the ridge line without any friction, but then once it's in place, as soon as I pull it to one side or pull it to the other side, the precept knot does not go anywhere. And then what I've done is I've clipped a carabiner to the tarp. So I've used paracord. I basically just did a bowline knot, I think is what this is called. Hook that to the tarp and then to the carabiner, and then I've got my loop from the precept knot that I just clip on. So again, I can move this thing or pull it tight, and that will prevent the tarp from moving. And it does not move. I'm pulling tension, and it doesn't move. So this is by far the coolest knot that I've learned so far. That bowline knot, if that's what I'm tying, I think it is. Maybe it's a makeshift one, I don't know. But it seems to work. It's held up. But I've been using that for a lot of things. I'm sure there's better knots for different scenarios. I just really suck at knots, so I'm really trying to practice. So yeah, and then this precept knot, I believe that's how you say it, precept knot. This thing has been awesome. So let's check out the other side. So basically, I've done the same thing with the other side as far as doing the precept knot on this side. So again, stretching the hammock, or the, stretching the tarp so that it doesn't slide in. But what I've also done is I've moved the stake lines, as you can see here. I did have them on the corners, and then this thing was stretched out so I could do the A-frame. What I've done is I've moved it in so that I still have that A-frame style going across, but I now have doors. So, still got a little bit of air coming in. I can make this a little bit tighter to kind of completely close it off. But I have doors, which gives me a bit more privacy. And again, the hammock is completely covered from the rain. So that's awesome. So let's kind of go inside. Now, I'm still trying to figure out how to get that ridge line higher up so that it stays flat and doesn't kind of dip. Now, again, I've made everything tight. I've got the S-beaners on the one side and the cam jams on the other side. So everything's tight in place. But I still have this dip, and I don't know, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. So again, if I'm doing something wrong with that, please comment in the comment section. I would like this thing to be a little bit higher so that I can actually stand up. But if we come in here, so now I've got some privacy. I've got doors, so people aren't going to be able to see me. So if I need to change, I'm pretty hidden. And again, I can cinch that further in so that that's completely blocked off. It's also going to help with wind. It's also going to help with any rain that's coming from that direction. And the great thing is that I can do the same thing on this side and basically completely wall myself in. So if it's a really cold night, I can put doors on both sides, help keep that heat in. More importantly, I'm really just looking for the privacy, especially with that dude walking around last night. I did not like that. I felt a little unsafe. And getting into, you know, if I'm laying inside the hammock, I mean, really, I can just get grabbed. It's a little sketch. So I love the doors, and I love the fact that I figured out this knot. But anyway, this morning, I heard some footsteps, which woke me up. And I kind of peeked out of the hammock, and somebody was walking around my stuff. Pretty close, not like they were just moseying around and whatever. Just walking around my stuff, very creepy. Looking at me, looking at my stuff. And I kind of laid there and kind of watched, and then they just stood there staring at me. I'm not sure if the person was really all there or not. I don't know, but it was pretty sketch. So I was like, "What's up, bro?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing." I'm like, "You need something?" He's like, "No, I'm just walking around." It's okay. And so he proceeded to just kind of still stand there staring at me. And I'm like, "Bro, do you need something?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, can you like move on then?" And kind of walked around to the other side of the hammock, and then stopped, and then stared at me from there. So now I'm like, okay, something's up. He's got his hand in his pocket. Really, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, all right, now it's time to get out. Plus I gotta use the bathroom. So now I'm standing here like, okay, well, I usually wake up, I'll go use the bathroom real quick. I really gotta go. This guy's standing here. So I'm like, all right, no big deal. So I stood there for about a minute, just kind of watching him. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just walk over into the woods and, take a piss. So I go down into the trail, and he kind of like follows over by the trail and he's like staring at me. And I'm like, what the F, dude? What are we doing here? So I try to like move a different, you know, a little further in, and he's like peering through the bushes. So I'm like, okay, this is too much now. So I come back off the trail onto the, you know, area that I'm at, and I'm like, all right, bro, what's up? Do you need something? And he's like, no, I'm just walking around. But you could kind of hear in his voice, like, I don't know, he was a little off a little bit. And I'm like, okay, what are you staring at me for, bro? Like, I'm trying to take a piss in the woods, and you're over here peering through the bushes, just literally staring at me. You're walking around my stuff. You're staring at me while I'm sitting in the hammock. Like, what's up, dude? What do you need? And he's like, nothing, I'm just walking around. I'm like, okay, then, you know, I don't mind you want to walk around. It's obviously a public area. But how about you walk around on the other side and quit walking around by my stuff? And then I'm over here off in the woods trying to take a piss, and you want to creep, you know, and stare at me, bro. That's super creepy. Like, you need to move on. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of walking around up. That's great, bro. You told me that. Like, move on then. Get away from my stuff now. Like, you're sketching me out. I don't need you anywhere near me. Go walk on the other side. He's like, oh, okay, I'll leave. I'm like, you don't need to leave, bro, but you just need to go walk somewhere else. Not here. Don't be around my stuff anymore. So, I don't know, dude. And then he, like, left, walked across the parking lot, and then got in his car and left. So, I don't know what that was about. All last night, as soon as it turned dark, people walking around up there. And, again, walking around by my stuff. So, I don't like this area. This area sketches me out big time. There's too much shit that goes on in the woods over here. People come up here to smoke pot. People come up here, I don't know, just to do a lot of weird, sketchy stuff. You know, generally, it's a pretty quiet area. Nobody bothers me. I'm kind of really away from people for the most part. You can kind of see my shelter from the road, which kind of sucks. But I'm also not going further back into the woods. There is a homeless person that lives in there. I don't know his mental health status, and I'm not going to get murdered in my sleep. But at the same time, it is a little sketchy with people walking around, staring at me while I'm trying to be in the hammock. Next week, I want to swap out some gear and a couple little accessory things that I would like. That'll help me with recording and all that. I do need to get another battery pack because this one that I have, I'm not a fan of this one, this black web. This thing's older too, but I'm not really a fan of this particular one. It was pretty expensive. I think I paid like $30, and this is a 10,000 megahertz, whatever. But it takes forever to charge stuff with this. So I've had this thing charging all night with my phone. I was on like 14% battery. I woke up and I was only at 40%. So this thing sucks. The other two battery chargers I bought one from Walmart. It was like $15, and then I do have a Jackery portable battery charger. The Jackery I love a lot more. That one's great. It charges my phone a lot quicker. So Jackery is definitely the way to go. I'm gonna have to go back on Amazon and take a look at the Jackery portable battery chargers. Let's see if I can get another one shipped to me, because those are better. Also way more durable. If I drop that thing, it is waterproof. They make a nice product. So So I've had that one for a while. I really like it. It charges, even when I'm using the phone, it charges pretty quick. Charges rapidly when obviously I have the phone shut off. So, but I do need to get another one because when I get off work Monday and then don't go back till Thursday late afternoon, with the amount of recording and uploading and usage of my phone, I'm burning through my battery and burning through these portable battery chargers, so not ideal. So we definitely need to take a look at that and get that resolved. I am going to try to pick up my little GoPro style camera and carry that with and see if I can do some recording on that, and then take the SD card out and stick it in my phone to be able to upload. So hopefully that works. We're going to see. But right now, just enjoying the view at the lake and drinking my coffee and trying to be unsketched over a crazy person this morning. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Talk to you guys later.